My name is Steve Adelmund. I am in my final semester at MCC. And my very first semester, I created what I called the MCC bucket list. It was a list of things that there's no way I would ever be able to do. And one of those things was getting the art gallery. I wanted to get the gallery to myself for at least a week. And so I went to Tim Castle, who is in charge of it, and I said, Tim, what are the odds of me getting the art gallery? He says, I'll put you on the list. I went, okay, great. And I said, how long is that? He said, about a 4-year wait. And I went, excuse me? So I said, sure, put me on there. That'll give me time to put together a thing. Well, I took his art appreciation class, which I have always had an appreciation for art. Beauty, light, dark, it's everywhere. And you have to know exactly where to look to find it, and you have to be open to receive it. So in art appreciation, I learned an even deeper sense of that. And as part of that, one of the projects was that we had to create a piece of art. So I challenged myself to create the biggest piece of art I could. It's a piece called Hope, which is featured here in the gallery. And when he saw it, he said, do you still want the gallery? And I said, absolutely, was my answer, sure. And so he said, well, I have some time in the middle of February, and but you'll have to come in on a Monday and take it out on the Friday. And sure enough, I was able to put together, I went through about 3,000 pictures and made sure I tweaked some of them. And I think the oldest piece in the gallery right now, the newest one is a few months old. The oldest piece in the gallery is from 1996. So there are some pieces in this gallery that are older than some of the students that I go to class with. So it's kind of interesting. But art has always been a passion of mine. And, you know, seeing beauty in things and trying to capture that, whether it's through drawing or painting or sculpting, I'm always trying to capture that because the moments are so fleeting. I mentioned that, you know, finding beauty is a big part of it, but I think that I'm most inspired by things that catch me off guard. I love humor, and I love dark humor and things like that, and they say that the secret to humor is surprise. So I think that's also the secret to art and to appreciating art is to be caught off guard. I mean, anything can be a snapshot, anything can be a picture, but art makes you stop and think. It catches you, and it makes you reflect. It commands your attention and makes you look a little bit deeper. And so my personal inspiration I find in my children and in my wife and just in my own personal drive, and those are the kind of things that really push me to find the real beauty in things and capture that so I can share it with others. My professional aspirations, art is a pastime for me. It's a hobby. It's not something that I'm passionate about it, but it's not something that I've ever necessarily thought was a career thing. But turns out I am a really good salesman. And I have been for many years. I have a lot of management experience, that sort of thing. So when I came to MCC as a non-traditional student, I knew right away what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a marketing manager. So I got into the business classes, and my next step from MCC, which has been amazing, is ISU, and I'm going to be getting a bachelor's in marketing. Now, how art plays into that is that you have to be able to catch people's eye. Like I said, you have to be able to, not necessarily startle them, but you have to be able to capture that moment and make it relatable. And that's what most of the advertisements you remember, even if you don't remember the product, the advertisement itself, the reason that you remember it is because something about it was unique and it stuck with you. Either it struck a personal chord, or it was really funny, or there's something about it that just made you go, wow. And that's exactly how I plan to use art going forward. And that's honestly why I took art appreciation, is because I wanted to kind of understand the psychology of art and how people, for lack of better terms, digest it. And so that's essentially what I'll be doing professionally, hopefully in about, you know, another 2-3 years. So I think that everybody has, it's kind of taboo, but I think everybody has a bit of a dark streak. And dark humor is something you feel almost guilty about laughing about. Well, with some of my art, again, I love the balance of light and dark and how they play off each other. And a lot of my pieces, when you look around the gallery, you see that there's a light piece next to a dark piece, and it's meant to balance each other. Well, I find that to really understand yourself, you have to dig deep and look inside of yourself and figure out exactly what's in there. And in my case, sometimes that's some pretty dark stuff. But I'm not afraid to share that because it's truth, it's honest, it's raw, you know? You have to be honest with who you are. And a lot of times for me, that comes through in darker colors or darker themes. I have horror movie stuff. I love horror movies because to me it's like magic, and I love magic tricks, and so it's all capturing the imagination, getting a little bit deeper, and that's really where a lot of the light and dark play into each other.